Alrighty, Qzx900 here, and thank you so much for attending this live encore. You know the drill if you've been on these calls before. Type a 1 in the chat box if you can see my screen and hear me okay, and then also include where you're from, as it's always fun to see the international crowds that we get here. All fantastic. Lots of ones coming in. We got some people over here. We got Joan from the Netherlands. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming on this Sunday evening or even Monday morning, depending on where you're from. Alrighty, San Diego, one of my favorite cities. I really miss the Sunday farmers market there. It's some of the best in the world. Alrighty, fantastic. We got Houston in the house. Mary's from Houston. Welcome. Thank you so much for attending on here. Fantastic. Wow, I got people from everywhere. Oh my goodness, we have somebody from Hong Kong, one of my favorite cities, and for many reasons. What an exciting place. I love that place. Gonna have to go back there this summer. All righty, keep going down here. Susan, Mike on here. Tony, thanks for coming. Appreciate you coming on these calls. I see quite a bit because we're gonna add lots of value here. Okay, we'll keep going. Wow, I got people from all over the place, even down under on that end of it. Super, super fantastic. So let's keep going here. All righty. Well, let's go ahead and get started then. We got a good sound check. We got people still piling in, but we'll go ahead and get started on that. Look, we decided to ask our guests to come back for yet another training, and this really is a training. So when he tells you to take notes and learn how to do this, please take notes. There's no missing pieces here. You're actually going to see and learn a method of how to get clients for any type of offline business you may have, services. It does not matter. This is applicable. This is the way that you acquire customers in a pain-free way. There's no cold calling, nothing like that. Tons of proof. So super, super excited to deliver to you this training this Sunday evening on here. So look, this is the deal here. No matter what kind of offline services you may offer, the one key component that you must always have is the ability to get customers. An easy, replicatable way to get customers, and of course to do it without cold calling, because even people who are good at cold calling don't like to do it. So this has nothing to do with cold calling, and it is a method for you to get a constant stream of clients coming in, no matter what kind of services you offer, whether you offer Facebook ads, whether you offer Qzx900 pay-per-call ads, whether you offer Qzx900 SEO, pay-per-lead ads, whether you offer reputation service, straight SEO, you just want to rent a site out that's got leads coming in. No matter what service of value you offer, this system will work for you. Now look, some of you out there may be just starting out with your offline services. And you maybe feel like maybe you're not an expert at it, or if you're doing lead gen, maybe you don't have enough leads coming in yet that you feel like you couldn't sell them. I would encourage you to take extra special notes here, and then right after the webinar, implement what you learn and see how quickly clients come in. Even if you don't have leads or you don't have even a service yet, you can see how quickly clients are going to contact you and want to do business with you. And maybe that's the fire in the belly that you need to really get started here. So without further ado, let me introduce our special guest who he is in Bangkok, Thailand. He's in Thailand at the moment, traveling around the world. He is a digital nomad like myself, and what he teaches, and you're going to learn, is exactly what he does. He's a practitioner, and he's an expert at customer acquisition on here. So without further ado, on here, let's go ahead and hand it over to Lior. Lior, take it away, my friend. It's all
Thanks a lot
you.
for that intro. Guys, give me a quick one if you can hear me and everything's good on my end. Just a bit overseas. You know how it is. Awesome. Okay, great. Lots of ones, got an active crowd. What do we say we just get into this? You know, we have a lot to cover, a lot of content. I hope you're taking notes because that's the type of training that I do. You know, I don't leave anything out, and it's going to be a lot of learning. So I hope you're ready for that. So without further ado, let's just do this. So let's just talk about who this is for. Maybe you're in the wrong place. Let's find out. Well, this training is for you if you've tried getting clients before, but you hate cold calling or having to hard sell anyone, or even meeting prospects in person. Or maybe you already landed a couple of consulting clients, but you're struggling to get consistent, predictable sales. Or maybe you have experience with sales, but you'd like to add another stream of leads to your current prospecting. Or maybe you want a step-by-step action plan to get endless leads that need digital marketing services, that need leads, okay? So do me a favor before we start. I want you to forget what you know about cold emailing, okay? Like the picture says, keep calm and forget it. Because I know there's a lot of stigma out there about cold emailing. I know, you know, there's a lot of cliches. People think it's spammy. People think it may not work. It takes too long. Whatever it is, I can guarantee you that no one is doing this stuff and no one is teaching this stuff, right? When I put this stuff out there, people, I just never found anything like it. And people are really surprised, and I love that. So just do me a favor, forget it, and come in with an open mind about this approach to prospecting, all right? And if you have a lot of questions, make sure to keep them to the end. I will keep an eye on them, but it's best to just keep it to the end so that we can all answer them at the same time. Okay, so just a little bit about who I am. I won't spend too much time talking about myself, but it's good to know, you know, the person's background before we get in. So before I was looking all pretty in these pictures, it takes me back to a little bit of story of around 4 years ago or so. So a couple of things happened at the same time when I got started in this internet marketing stuff. The first is I left my pretty high-paying job at a software company. I dropped out of university, and I also moved out of my parents' house. That all happened within the same month or so. So I was literally living in this small basement apartment wondering how am I going to survive, essentially. And my buddy ended up telling me about this opportunity on Amazon where you can essentially write books for Kindle, upload them, rank them really well on search. People end up buying them from their Kindles, and you get paid for writing these books. And that's exactly what I did. I would hire ghostwriters. I would, you know, beat the algorithm, rank for all these books. And what I noticed was I was making a bit of money doing this. And I thought to myself, I have these, you know, this experience of growing this business. I know how to work with these search engines. Why don't I just take this skill and sell it to businesses that already exist? Okay, and that's exactly what I did. So I stumbled into client marketing, you know, retainers, SEO, PPC, all that sort of stuff, really by accident. I didn't know that there was an entire world of digital marketing and consulting and things like that. And then one thing led to another. This picture was actually taken yesterday, believe it or not. Right now I travel the world, and it's through these sort of methods that I'm able to do this. So you can either do it yourself, you can hire an assistant, and we're going to go through all of that. Currently, I am in Thailand. For all you who were just in Thailand, I just missed you. But yeah. All right, so that's it for me. And so in this training, I'm going to show you exactly how to cold email and land 4-figure clients with only a couple emails sent per day. All right, now it sounds hypey, but I promise you I'm not going to sell you some $2,000 course on how to do this. I am not going to leave anything out when it comes to this training. You're going to learn absolutely everything, so I want you to take my word for it and start taking notes, all right? And once you've watched this webinar, you're going to be able to get in front of prospects that desperately need your services, but they don't know how to find you. And you'll have profitable leads sitting in your inbox that respond to your outreach. You'll be able to add $20,000 in yearly income from each new client. And last but not least, you'll know exactly what you need to go out and do to accomplish this every single day. Remember, if these are four-figure clients, so that's $1,000, $2,000 per month minimum, that's after 12 months, over $20,000 per year. So you just add one more client and it just sort of stacks up. And the cool thing about this is that for those of you doing, Call2 and pay-per-call sort of stuff, this is going to tie in very neatly because you don't have to do this just for yourself. You can also do this for your clients as a way to generate them leads and sell them leads, all right? But let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. And I'm not a huge fan of doing these little screenshot things, so let me know when I can move forward. So here's one. PayPal, one of my favorite clients, over $2,000 per month. Here's another one for $3,150 recurring, all right? And of course, not every client stays on forever, but you guys get the point. Can we move on? All right. Someone says, I just realized you're standing on an elephant, not a rock. That's exactly right. All right, so maybe you come from a different world of affiliate marketing, or you haven't really been dealing with clients yet. So here's just a little tidbit on why you should take on clients, sort of my top 3 reasons. The first is that you get paid every month recurring. So if you add one more client, you make even more money, okay? The second is that you get paid up front before even starting the work. So all of your expenses are paid. If you have to go out and buy them leads up front, they've already paid you a small retainer or some sort of fee. Maybe you have to go buy links if you do SEO or advertising, whatever it is, you've already been paid. So you don't have to invest anything yourself. You don't have to worry about, forking over money by yourself. And my third and favorite reason is that it's an extremely low acquisition cost to get these clients. So it's either free or next to nothing. I'm going to show you how to do that with cold emailing, and both free and some paid ways as well. Okay. And all of this can be replicated without needing to cold call or hard sell. I'll tell you right now, I've never picked up the phone once and cold called the business. I know a lot of people do it. I know some calls where people do it. I've just never ever done it before. So if you're worried about that, you don't have to worry about that. I also don't spend a lot of time or money finding these prospects. If you're worried about being a time suck or having to invest a lot, that's not a problem. And my third favorite one is that you don't have to meet anyone in person ever. Right? That's the beauty of the internet. You guys are saying you're from all over the world. I'm traveling right now. I think out of the dozens and dozens of clients I've worked with each year, I probably only met 2. One of them was like a family friend, and one of them just happened to live in my city and we wanted to meet. Okay, so if that's a thing you're sort of shy about or whatnot, don't have to meet anyone in person ever. And it's not because I'm a genius that I was able to figure this stuff out. I just asked myself 2 simple questions. The first is, how can I find or build a list of emails of people that actually need my marketing help? Okay. The second is, once I have that list, what can I do or say to them that will make them respond and pay for my services? Does that make sense? Where do I find these people and what do I say to them? So I had to sort of figure this out in order to combine them and get results. But before we answer that, I want to ask a quick question of whether or not you can relate to this. Okay, give me a quick one if you relate to any of these. We'll just go through them quick. So I want to know if you've ever spent a ton of time or money trying a prospecting method that doesn't really work. Right? Give me one if that sounds like you. Maybe you have something to sell, but you just don't know how to prospect. Or you definitely take on recurring income clients if they showed interest, but you don't think you can land the big ones. Or maybe you're nervous to speak to a random stranger and tell them about their problems with their marketing. Or maybe you understand it takes patience to sell clients, but you don't want to waste time without a clear step-by-step process. All right, give me one if that sounds like you. Okay, good. Good, lots of ones. Well, if you answered yes or you gave me a 1 to any of those, then I'm sorry to say, but you're still in trouble. And the reason for that is as follows, because if you sift all day through business directories or Google trying to find prospects, how much time are you going to waste doing that? Or if you don't know what to, how to find their email addresses or what to say to them, how can you sell them your solution? Or even if you do know what to say to them, how can you ensure you're not marked as spam and ruin your email reputation forever? All right, well, I was in trouble too, but I kept testing and testing, and then I found a solution. So follow on closely because this entire training is that solution, and I don't leave anything out. All right, let's hop into it. So the first thing I want to get into is something called why cold email works, the cold email math. All right, so instead of just sitting here preaching to you guys about why cold emailing is the best prospecting method, what I like to do is I like to show you in Excel how this is sort of irrefutable, and this can be applied to building any business. So let's head over to my Google Sheet over here. And if you guys can't see this, maybe I'll zoom in a bit, just let me know. But you'll see that I have a simple model of this business ready to go. So the way it works is as follows. Let's say in month one, so today, we have a starting revenue of our brand new business. It's $0 per month. Okay, makes sense? And this month, we want to hit $5,000 per month in new clients. All right, does that make sense so far? So we're at 0, we want to hit 5,000 so that at the end of the month, our end revenue will be $5,000 per month. How many clients do we need in order to hit $5,000 per month? Well, if you're like me, you charge at least $1,500 per month, then you only need 3.33 clients. Okay, in 1 month, the first month, you need to land 3 clients or so to hit your goal. Now, that might not seem so hard, but let's take it a step deeper, right? Let's just zoom in a bit for those that need it. So, how many consultations do I need in order to land those 3.3 clients? Well, currently I'm closing about a quarter of the people I speak to, or 1 in 4. So I need to speak to 13.3 people this month in order to land those 3 clients. Now per day, that's only 0.44 consultations, or less than half. Or you can also say, 1 consultation every other day. So 1 consultation every other day, or 1 sales call. I usually speak to 1 person every other day. Okay? Give me a 1 if you think you can speak or convince someone to speak to you every other day. Just 1 person who speaks to you every other day about their business, their problems. Give me 1 if you're confident enough to do that. Okay, awesome. Wow. Okay, good. And you're on to a good start. A lot of confident people. Okay, good. So 1 person every other day, 1 consult. How many emails do we need to send in order to accomplish that? Well, the answer is 666. Now, how did I arrive at that? Because currently, for every 50 emails I send, about 1 person is actually going to be willing to get on the phone with me. Now, this isn't a response. This is someone who's really willing to get on a consultation with me. So that might sound like a big number for a month, but if you break it down, that's only 22.22 emails per day. So if I send 22 emails per day, I'm going to hit 600 emails a month. I'm going to get that consultation every other day. I'm going to get 13 consults a month, and I'm going to land those 3 clients. And if I send those 22 emails per day, my annual revenue after the first month is $60,000. Now, obviously, clients will leave you or whatever the situation is, but I want you to tell me if you think you could send 22 emails per day. Put a 22 in the chat box if you think you have enough time or resources to be able to send 22 emails per day. So do that, or maybe let me know if you can't. Well, I just fix this. Okay. Okay, good. A lot of people. Someone said 22 times 2. Okay, good. That's the answer I'm looking for. It's quite easy to send 22 emails per day. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Because if we go to month 2, we're already starting at $5,000 from the previous month. Because remember, they pay you monthly. So I'm already at $5,000 per month. I have the same goal this month of just adding another $5,000 to my end revenue so that I'm at $10,000 per month now. So how many clients do I need to get in order to hit this new end revenue? Well, it's the same thing. I need 3 clients, I need to have 13 consultations or one every other day. I need to send 666 emails, which is 22 emails per day. And if I do that, I'm at $120,000 per year in annual revenue, given that no one leaves me or anything like that, but this is just an example, right? This is not something that I'm making up. This is math. You can't really argue with this, but you could plug in your own numbers if you charge more or less or anything like that. But look how this gets really interesting, because in Excel, I'm not sure if you know this, but you can actually drag out these cells, and I can just drag this a couple more lines, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maybe, and look what happens over here. As I drag them out, they start to add and compound to each other. So I dragged it out, 6 months, and by the end of the 6th month, what am I doing? The exact same numbers, 22 emails a day, being consistent. I'm already at 360,000 per year. Okay. Now, this might excite you. This might be a bit confusing, but let's take an example for one of you guys. So let's say you charge a bit more than me. Let's say you want to charge 2,000 per month. So I'm going to go ahead and change this value here, 2,000 per month. Oops, put 200. You don't want to do that. 2,000 per month. Now, let's say you're also better at closing clients than me, okay? Because you're doing some sort of, foot in the door method. Maybe you're using pay-per-call. It's much easier. So you're landing 1 in 3. So let's put a 3 there. And look what happened all of a sudden. We went from having to send 22 emails per day to only 12.5. And we only need to speak to one person every 4 days, so about 0.25 people per day. So you see how much easier it is when you start to play with this spreadsheet. And I'll definitely make a shareable version of this and send it over at the end of the webinar if you guys want to plug in your own numbers or play with this and sort of see the opportunity. And you notice how the annual revenue did not change here. It stayed the exact same, but I just started charging more. I got better at sales, after 6 months or whatever it is. Okay. Does that make sense? You start to see the opportunity here? All right, so people asking for a copy. Yeah, we'll definitely share this at the end. But let's move on to the content, to the meat of this. So I hope you see the opportunity. I love this stuff because you can't really refute math. Okay, let's move on. So there's 3 sources where I get my cold email leads, okay? So the first problem is where to find leads. Second is what to say to them. So the first is a purchase list. So you're going out, you're buying email lists. So we're going to go into depth how to do this. The second is a manually built list. So you're sitting there, finding leads, building them in Excel. And the third is an automated method of building leads or emailing leads, whichever you prefer. So let's get into the first source, which is purchase lists. So the pros of buying a list is that everything is there for you. There's no work required. You literally buy the list, you have the emails, you're ready to go. It's also already niched down. So if you only want plumber leads in a certain city, you can get that. And you can sometimes even get custom with other variables like revenue, where these plumbers are located, how many employees they have. It gets pretty crazy how detailed you can actually get. The cons of this, though, is that it can be super pricey. I've seen brokers selling simple lists of like a couple hundred emails for thousands of dollars. All right. There's also often many invalid emails. So you'll get a whole list, but they just won't work. They're much more likely to be sent to spam. And often you don't really get the list. You just get the ability to blast these people through, this person's service or like Info USA or whatever it is. Okay. But if you wanted to go ahead and do this, here is where you would go and buy these lists. So the best way is a simple Google search for like a niche plus buy emails. So if you just type in plumbers, plumber leads or plumber lead brokers, you'll find a whole bunch of people that claim or do sell email lists of these people. And a really trusted one is called Info USA or Info Canada, if you're going to target those 2 countries, because they've already done a lot of the vetting process, although a lot of it is automated. And a little tip for you guys is go ahead and give them an actual call and ask for the Excel spreadsheet, ask for the CSV, because they don't give it to you. They sort of just allow you to send an email through their system, but you want to have emails so you can send them multiple times, you can upload them to Facebook, whatever it is, call and ask for them. Okay, so now you have the list. How do you send emails to them? Well, if you're not a developer, it's going to be hard to use these dev tools and these servers to start sending emails like this in mass. You could try uploading it to your autoresponder like MailChimp or Aweber. Definitely not recommended. I'm pretty sure you know why. It's not really allowed and it just won't really work. You could try doing it one by one in Gmail or using an assistant. Of course, you know, if it's a big list that you just bought, that might take you years to do. Literally might take you years. And so the best use, if you're going to buy a list, is to A/B split test a sample of lists for subject lines to see which one had the highest open rate. So you'll send like 500 out of 10,000. You'll split it to 250, 250. You'll send one 250 one subject line. You send the other one another subject line, and whichever one won, you'll send that to the entire list. And at least you know that you're going to get the best bang for your buck. You could try filling up a webinar and selling them on your services. And you could try uploading it as a custom audience on Facebook so that at least you know the ads you're running are only for plumbers or only for dentists or whoever it is that you're buying the list for. Okay. So overall, I don't recommend this source, buying lists, as I didn't have the best luck with it. I ended up spending a lot of time working with the list, cleaning it up, and it just cost so much money to, for a newbie like me at the time to get started with. Okay, so that is it for purchase lists. Now let's move on to the second source, which is manually building the list in Excel. So the pros of doing this is that it's the most accurate data possible. The reason being is that you can go ahead and you can find the owner's personal email this way. You can also find the owner's name too. You can ensure that they actually need marketing help before adding them to this prospecting list. Now the cons are that it takes a lot of time to do, mainly to find the name and the email. It does take a lot of time. And I'll show you how to do this in a second. You could try hiring a virtual assistant to do this, but that can get pricey as well. Just build a couple of emails. You can't do a blast of this method because you just spent so much time building a list that if you blasted it, you sort of wasted that time. And it's a lot of effort to make it personal with one-by-one email, because when you do it manually, you sort of have to sit there, find the first name, set it up in Gmail, send it to them one by one. Okay, so that's the cons of manually building your list. Now, if you're going to go ahead and do this, here's where you find the leads. Now, this part's pretty straightforward. It depends on what you sell. Okay, so first you're going to need a source of websites, because websites equals businesses. So if you're like me, you sell SEO, you'll go to page 2 of Google, you'll see everyone who clearly doesn't have good SEO because they're not ranking well. Or if you're selling reputation management, go to Yelp or Yellow Pages. If you're selling PPC, go to AdWords, see who's bidding, go to Facebook ads, all the same sort of thing. Anyone that's running paid ads or is lacking in these things obviously need our help, or whatever it is that you sell, they need your help. So the best use of manually building a list is to first ensure that they actually need help with their marketing, and then you add them to a prospecting list. Now, it's one thing to assume that everyone needs leads. Of course, everyone needs leads, but you really want people that actually need help, because they're more likely to be responsive when it comes to cold emailing, because you're showing them something on their website that they need help with. So personally, I like to focus on SEO and AdWords mistakes, especially if they're running AdWords and you can clearly see it's a landing page that just is awful, it's not going to work. That's the sort of stuff that I like to focus on. Then I find the owner's first name and email, and I'll send a personalized email with a video audit of their mistakes, and I'll shoot it over to the owner in an email. Okay. Now, how do you create this prospecting list manually built, and how do you find the owner's name and email. Well, let's do it live, shall we? So I'm going to go back to my Excel spreadsheet over here, or my Google Sheet, and the second page is a prospecting list. So you'll see it's pretty thorough. You know, we got the company name, the company's website, the notes, the angle, how I found them, which keyword I used to find them, did I upload and make an audit video? Did I upload it to Wistia? Did I find the prospect's name? Did I put it in a landing page? Did I test all of it? Am I going to send a lumpy mail or a cold email? Did I send it? Did I log into CRM? Did I find their address and their phone number to follow up with? Okay, so that's the basics of this entire prospecting sheet. So you see it's pretty thorough. So I'll just go to the bottom and we can start with this. So guys, I want you to type in the chat box just a random niche I should go to Google and start searching for. Give me something good. Go to google.com here. Just type a quick niche that you work in. Use google.com. All right, people are saying garage door repair, architecture, cosmetic dentist, evictions, emergency plumber. Okay, these are all really good. I like that garage door repair. Roofers. All right, let's do a simple one here. Let's just do shingle repair, and let's just do like a random city like Chicago. Okay, so this is pretty good. Let's choose another random city. Let's just do Houston. Okay, so what do you notice right away here? We got 4 ads, right? It's pretty much dominating the entire part of the page. We got 4 people running ads. But I searched for shingle repair Houston, and look at what some of these people are advertising for, right? This person doesn't even mention the word Houston. It doesn't even say the word shingles. It doesn't talk about pretty much anything that I searched for. Same day roof repair, roof leak repair, doesn't talk about shingles, you know. So pretty much this is the type of thing I'm looking for. Are they advertising for what I searched? Because if they're not, they're losing money. So I'll open these in a new tab, and I'll open all of them just in case any goodies come up. But you can do the same with Google. You can go to page 2, see what's going on with these. And this is a really big city, so obviously you're going to get some quality advertisers. But maybe we'll find something. We'll find something anyways. Okay, so look what we got here. So I searched for shingle repair, and I land on this page where you can't even see the sub-headline here. I have to hover over it. Or this entire title is residential roofing Houston, and there's nothing below the fold. I have to manually scroll just to see the next title, which is residential roofing. Talks nothing about shingle repair, which is what I'm looking for. There's a whole bunch of links I can get lost on. There's no call to action at the end. It just ends in a white space. Really, really poor. No phone number I can call. Nowhere I can leave my information. So right away, you know, this is the type of stuff I would include in a video, but I pretty much know that they need help just based on what I just told you. That's one. Let's see another one. All right. These guys are really ancient website. Again, it sort of just ends with nothing. There's barely any text here. They just talk about themselves. Pretty awful. Let's go to another one. Storm damage roof repair. All right, it's not really what I searched for. I don't know why I was sent to a page about storm damage. Just talk about shingles a little bit. Here's a better call to action. See this one here. Okay, here's a classic example where they just send you to the home page. So I search for shingle repair, and I start getting on a page about commercial roof repair. All right, and the slider is just going to confuse me. So where's the call to actions? They have some stuff here, but I wanted shingle repairs. So you start to see what I'm getting at, right? All this stuff leads to loss in conversions and loss in clients for these people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the URL here, go back to my sheet, and I'm going to type in, advanced roofing, put in the URL there, the notes that I found on my Google Ads. It was shingle repair Houston. Did I make a video for them? Yes. Did I upload it? Yes. Did I find the person's first name? Well, that can be done in a couple ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go first to the contact us page. Sometimes it's there, and they'll talk about who the owner is and stuff like that. Sometimes it's in the about page. So these are the first places I would check. The same name here. Doesn't look like it. Okay, they are on the BBB, which sometimes does have first name as well. So we're going to check that. Let's see here. Okay, we got the owner right over here, Mr. Tim R. Payne. So I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet. Tim Payne. And then I'm just going to pretty much go through all of it. Do I have his email address? Let's see. Does the BBB give me the email address? They do not. They give me the address, everything else. There's an email button here. Oh, boom. If you hover over the email, it's going to go to advancedroofing11@gmail.com. Roofing11@gmail.com. So that's why I like America, because they have the BBB. Another thing you can do is if you can't find that, you can always go to the Whois record. So you can go to the Whois record, which is like where all the domain stuff is listed around the world, all the registrars. I'll paste it in, hit search, and okay, so this one is private. Let's try another one. I don't even know how to pronounce that one, just to show you how fast this can be sometimes. Boom. So we found another guy. His name is also Tim. Tim Walsh, Putnam Roofing, have his personal address, his phone number, his email address as well. Okay, you saw how fast that was? It's loaded in like half a millisecond. And you can see how once you have that email address, everything starts to fill up. We have their name, we have their email, we know they need help because they are not having a landing page or they have a really bad page. And that's sort of how I go out and build a list. So, without having to explain this to you, you can see how you can probably start doing this 20 seconds to 1 minute per lead. Shouldn't take much longer. If you can't find the first name, don't fret. Just move on. Just use the word there, or like hey there, or just say hey buddy, or whatever it is. Don't say hey buddy, but you get my point. You don't have to fret about not finding the first name. Okay, does that make sense, guys? You see how fast you can start building a lead, and right away we found 4 potential leads. All of them had a problem with their website. Okay, so what I want to do now is move on and explain what you should be saying to them in the email now that you have this list. 22 emails per day. What are we going to send to them? All right, let's discuss what to send them in the email. So there's 4 types of cold emails that I send, and I absolutely love these, and I don't really think you need to go anywhere else in terms of finding templates or anything like that. These are the 4 types I love. The first is called the audit. The second is the fake audit. The third is the boss trick. And the fourth is called the straight kill. Okay, I named these myself. Yes, they sound like movie titles, but they are named as such for a reason. So let's hop into each one and explain how they work. So the first type is called the audit. So what I recommend doing in an audit of the person's website is just do a custom screen recording video. Turn on Camtasia or ScreenFlow or Jing or Loom, whatever you use. Start recording your screen and just walk them through their marketing mistakes. The same way I showed you their website and what was missing, how they're doing bad AdWords, whatever it is. Walk them through their marketing mistakes. Then you want to take that screen recording and edit it into a video template of you making your offer. Speak to them or selling them something, whatever it is, you want to edit it into it. Then you're going to take that whole video and paste it into a landing page template and send it straight to the prospect. If they don't answer, obviously you're going to send a follow-up email, and you're going to get the consultation, hopefully get the sale, and you can move on to the next prospect. So here's an example of what the audit looks like, what my personal audits look like. So here's a landing page I made in Unbounce. You can see it has my name at the top left. They can call me, and you look at the URL for a second. The URL literally has the person's first name in it. The title says, Paul, here's some marketing mistakes you're making online. All of a sudden they see a video with a screenshot of their own website and a play button to start watching it. Guys, if you received an email or you received a link with your name in it, and the title of the page had your name in it, and someone literally made a website about you and your website, don't tell me that you're not going to watch this video, okay? You are definitely going to watch this video, and you're going to suck it up, because everyone that receives something this personal can't resist it. So how exactly does this video work? Well, it starts off with me sort of talking against the wall, just a plain template, just explaining what exactly I'm about to be doing for them. And you can see I took a screenshot of his website and I put it in the top right corner. So it looks super personal, like I made this template just for him. And that's how I start the video. Now the next section is a screen recording portion. So I'll do exactly what I did with you. I'll go to Google, I'll search the keywords, I'll walk him through his website, show him how he has an issue, and I just keep doing that throughout the video. It's not more than 4 minutes long. And it ends off again with me as a template explaining how I can help him fix the mistakes that I just pointed out. And at the end it says, book your free consultation. They can come down and give me a call or book a time to speak with me. Pretty straightforward. Once you have this template, you can just duplicate, change the person's name, change the video, and send it off to them. All right, so that's exactly how I do my video audits. You don't want to overthink it. You don't want to think, what do I have to put in the video? Just be yourself. If you sell SEO, talk about SEO. Don't ramble on. Be precise, be confident, and anyone can do this. Okay? So that's exactly how the first type is done with the audit. Now let's move on to the second type. Second type is called the fake audit. So pay attention, because this is really important and it's really powerful. In this method, with the fake audit, you're simply implying that you made an audit for them, but that you need a response first in order to actually send it over. Okay? If it's a responsive email address and the person is interested in seeing the video, they're going to reply asking for you to send it over. So this proves both. It proves that it's a real email address and that the person is interested. Then you can actually go and do the audit for them. So you didn't waste any time sitting there making a video, making a landing page. You're just sending them an email implying that you made an audit, and then when they respond, you go out and do it. So you save so much time. So this is really great for prospects that you don't think are worth the time, or for doing the whole batch of them at once. Like if you land on a plumber's website, you don't think you can afford your stuff, you don't want to sit there doing a video audit, just send a fake audit. Or if you're going to do a whole bunch at once, just do a whole bunch at once. See how many bites you get. And here's an example of how I do it. So what I'll do is I'll just add a fake play button on top of a screenshot. So in this example, I took a screenshot of his website, I took this play button over here, Photoshop, 10 seconds, pasted it on top, saved a new image, and boom, I have this fake audit. I'll go to an email, I'll say, hey, I made this audit for you. Are you the good person to send it to, or who should I send it to? If they respond, then we know that they're interested, and we can go out and actually make the audit. Guys, I absolutely love this method because it saves so much time and does sort of provide value up front. Okay? Definitely use this fake audit method. Now, the third type is called the boss trick. Now, the boss trick is also really powerful, but it's mainly good for larger companies with more hierarchy, as well as when you can't find the appropriate person to email that you should be speaking to on the phone. So these people tend to be busier, but if their boss tells them to do something, they must do it. So what you need to do is you need to send an email to the boss first, asking who the appropriate person is to speak to about marketing, all right? So let's say you want to speak to Jim in marketing. You're going to email Jim's boss saying, hey, who's the appropriate person to speak to about something wrong with your website? Then the boss is going to forward your email to the proper person, or you can include the previous reply from the boss and send it to the proper person. So you can send it to Jim's boss. Jim, the boss is going to say, hey, go and speak to Jim about this. I can't deal with this right now, or he's the best person. You send an email to Jim being like, hey, your boss told me to speak to you. And Jim can't ignore an email that has their boss telling you to speak to them, right? It almost guarantees a consultation every single time. They simply can't ignore their boss. And that's why I love this trick, because you don't have to deal with any hierarchy. You sort of just go straight to the top, and they respond to emails, especially when they're just delegating it to their employees. So definitely use this for bigger businesses. I love using this one, and I'll show you some subject lines to use it with in just a bit. Now the last type that I use is called the straight kill, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You're going straight for the kill here. That means typing an email out saying, hey, buy my stuff, or hey, let's get on the phone, or hey, this is the problem you have, we need to speak. And going straight for the kill, it can be an effective foot in the door strategy for really cheap sales or low priced offers. And the idea with a straight kill is to gain commitment for a consultation or a sale right away for a really small offer. So something like a $20 cover page creation. I'll make you a Facebook cover page, or I'll create a yellow page for you, or anything like that, Yelp page, something really small. And then once they're your client, you can sort of sell them a much higher ticket service because they already trust you. And when you send this straight kill email, they're either interested or they're going to have more questions, and they'll just simply respond. And what you can do with the straight kill is you can actually combine it with something I like to call the fake straight kill. So check out this email that I got recently from this guy, Daniel from Adobe, right? I never even signed up for a trial with their software, and this guy sends me this email. That's why I call it the fake straight kill. All right, let me just read it to you pretty quickly. Hi, Lior. I hope all is well with you. We've never met, but I'm writing because I noticed that you started a trial with us the other day. I thought it made sense to reach out to you directly since we work with a ton of other businesses in your area. If you're open to it, it would be great to learn more about what you're doing and how we might work together. Can you or someone on your team hop on a quick 15-minute call next week to explore? Daniel. Now, this might not seem like it, but this is the best cold email you will ever see. The most perfectly constructed cold email. And I'm going to go through why by going over some do's and don'ts of cold emailing. Okay? There's some do's and don'ts. So what you want to do, you absolutely want to do in every email, is state why you're emailing right away. So notice how he says, I'm writing because I noticed that you started a trial with us. Now, I didn't really start a trial with him, or maybe I did years ago, but right away he caught my attention. Then he stated social proof of how he's a good and interesting fit. So he said, I work with a ton of other businesses in your area. So right away I'm thinking, wow, who is this guy? People in my area, that's pretty cool. I'll listen to him. Then you include a call to action, or it can be a question to demand a response. And in his instance, it was, can you or someone on your team hop on a quick 15-minute call next week to explore? And it's either a yes or no, or you have more questions, whatever it is. And you could include your phone number. In case I want to call them right away, I'll just pick up the phone. That's great. That's fine. Now, here's what you don't want to do. This is what you never, ever want to do when you're cold emailing someone. You never want to include a link to your website. Now, that might sound counterintuitive, but let's think about this for a second. Notice how nowhere here did Daniel actually link to the Adobe product. Right? It says Adobe Sign here, but I can't click it. And the reason that he did this is that if I just clicked on the product, I'd go through the page, I'd make a decision, this doesn't look like it's for me, and I just won't respond to him, right? Because it just seems like a cold email. But in this instance, it seems like a personal email he's trying to send me where he actually wants a response so that he can convince me that it's good for me, right? If you just put your website in or you put it in the footer or something like that, people are just going to click it, realize this guy just sells SEO or he just sells leads. I don't want to deal with this guy. I'm not going to respond. So never ever include a website there. What's going on with my PowerPoint? All right. Sorry, just give me 1 second here. All right, not sure what's going on here. Sorry about this. Okay. All right, this is actually pretty frozen. Let's see what I can do. Someone's asking some questions. Just give me 1 quick minute. And just force quit this bad boy and then reset it. Force quit. Command Option Escape. All right, boom, there we go. Force quit, force quit. All right, really sorry about that. Let's just reset that, and then we'll be on our way. Microsoft PowerPoint, boom. All right, should be good to go. Now let's just see where we were. Okay. Math. Doing it live, types of cold emails, fake audit, straight kill, do's and don'ts. Okay, now here's a little bonus. I wish I could say it's a bonus for that little hookup, but here's a little bonus that I want you to walk away with. And these are my highest converting subject lines on how to, someone said Adobe dropped a virus. Yeah, probably. That's why I don't use their products. Highest converting subject lines. So the subject line is what determines if your email even gets opened or not, right? So you really want to make it count by raising curiosity in people and making sure that they actually read your email. Because if they don't, you're not even going to get a response. So my #1 cold email subject line is strange question. You put that in there, you're going to get a ton of responses. Another one is appropriate person, ? And you can use that for the boss trick or the fake audit, fake video audit, so that you're sort of asking who you should send it to. Have you seen this ? That's really good for audits or just showing them something that's wrong with their website. Your website's broken ? That's really good for the straight kill. Just make sure the website's something is actually broken with their website because this one will get opened almost 100% of the time, and they'll be really pissed off if something, if you sort of lied. So at least make sure something is not working. Maybe they'll appreciate that you're showing them something that really needs fixing. Okay, so definitely use these. Go ahead, write them down. Feel free to use them. They work like crazy. All right. Another cool bonus is crucial tools for cold emailing. So this is not something that you really need, but if you do get started with these tools, you're pretty much going to get a crazy, crazy good head start because you're not sitting there doing a lot of the stuff manually, and it's just going to save you a lot of time, a lot of money. So the first ones I recommend is Yesware or Sidekick by HubSpot, and that's going to allow you to track email opens so you know if your subject lines are working or not, right? Without that, you're sort of guessing. So this is why some of the software is really powerful. I mean, that's going to run you around 10 or 20 bucks a month for that service. Rebump is going to allow you to follow up. So if the person doesn't respond or open the email or whatever it is, you can only send one sequence, I think, but they're just going to follow up automatically, because as time goes on, you're going to have hundreds and hundreds of people to follow up with, and that's going to be crazy to do that on your own. So Rebump, Mailshake, any of those sort of do that for you. That's going to run you, I think, around 40 bucks a month or so, but it's a good investment. Then you have Camtasia or ScreenFlow for recording your screen. I think each of those costs 100 to 200 one time. You can also use Loom or Jing or QuickTime. Those are free options. Record your screen for the video audits. Those are definitely good options as well. You can use Wistia like I do for hosting the video audits and the marketing videos. So Wistia is pretty expensive these days. I think they are up to like 200 bucks a month now. But you can also use YouTube. Don't overthink it. YouTube, Vimeo, all of them are free. All of them are great. They work really well too. Unbounce, ClickFunnels, lead pages, anything that you can quickly make a landing page, duplicate it for hosting landing page. That's also around 100 bucks a month. And Gmail, of course, is free. And they have a little plugin in the lab section where you can add canned responses, pretty much just templates that you don't have to sit there copying and pasting. You just click a button and it'll put the cold email in there for you. It's going to save you a ton of time. So all in all, you're looking at around $200 to $400 per month for all the software. If you're on the high end, maybe 100 to 200 per month on the low end. And once again, you don't need this stuff, but it does pay off. Okay, if you think about it, one client over an entire year will pay for this, pay for one of your months of cold emailing. Okay, even all your entire year of cold emailing, it'll pay for that, right? 200 bucks, which is 2,000 a year. You get one client for 1 month. That's already more than paid for that. Okay, so these are just some tools. You don't need to get them, but that's about it for that. All right, guys. So far we went over purchase lists. We went over manually scraping and building lists. And I did mention that there's a third option, which is automation, okay? Automatically building lists, automatically emailing people, that sort of thing. All right, but guys, give me a quick one if you're enjoying this presentation so far. Throat's getting kind of dry, but I want to know if you're enjoying, getting some value out of this, taking notes. All right, thanks a lot, Douglas. Okay, good, a lot of ones. One, of course, awesome. Okay, I appreciate that. Always helps to get some feedback, to know I'm doing my job right. All right, so we went over all this stuff, and I want to talk about automation, which is my favorite way of building lists by far. Okay, saves you time, saves you money, and it's related to sort of the tools that we just spoke about in the previous slide. So what if there was a way to have something running that did every single step above that we spoke about auto-magically? Okay, it built the list, it found that they had a problem with their website, it made an audit or a fake audit for them. It sent an email to the whole list. It did a follow-up message. It basically did everything you needed to get the person to respond, and you didn't really need to do any of that finding or anything like that. Well, I actually went out and built a tool that does that. All right, give me a one if you want to see this tool I built that does that. Okay, I want to see a ton of ones here. If you want to see this automation that I built for my own agency and how I automated this whole process. Okay, I don't want a million ones. I just want one. Boom. Okay, someone wrote one, W-O-N. I love it. Hell yeah, for sure. Okay, guys. So I want to introduce you to this software that I built, and it's called Scope Leads. Now, we've been working on this for the past 3 years or so, and what Scope Leads does is exactly what we just mentioned by automating your cold emailing process to get you clients. So it's not only finding you the leads, it's also automating the outreach process. It might sound like a dream, but let me explain exactly what this does. So what is Scope Leads? Well, first, it creates a list of businesses that are actively in need of your services. Okay, not just any businesses, only ones that need what you're selling, whether it's SEO, PPC, or whatnot. Then it finds all of their information, and of course it finds their email address as well, their first name, all that stuff. You can create a completely custom audit or even a fake video audit showing them the problems that they have with their website. Then a personalized spam-free email is sent to the entire list that was just built. The software will then send conditional follow-up emails based on the recipient's action. So if the prospect opened an email or didn't open an email, or if they clicked on a link in the previous email, it'll send that follow-up email for you so you don't have to sit there and doing that. And everything is tracked in a neat CRM and with beautiful reporting. Did I mention that all that is done in seconds just by clicking go? So I want you to imagine searching for your niche, going to sleep, and waking up to dozens of people that responded to you interested in your offer. And if they weren't interested, then it's just going to keep following up with them for as long as you need. So you'll get a chance to use Scope Leads in just a moment, but first, let me show it to you live in action so you can see how powerful it really is. Just head over to my browser here, and you'll see that I have Scope Leads open with the beautiful dashboard and all my stats neatly displayed of what I've been doing for the month. So email sent, open, clicked, and things like that. But if you remember, there's two things that we needed to do in order to get results. The first was finding leads. The second was what do we send to the leads. So let's start with what do we send to the leads. All right, so let's go to email templates here. And I'll just create a new template pretty quickly. And I'll just call this one, strange question, ... That one always gets me a ton of opens. And I'll say, hey, I'll make it personal with the first name. And we just add that feature, really proud of it. If there's no first name, I'll just do like, hey there, and just gonna put that in. I'll be like, hey there, I was just on your website, and I'll put the website in there. And I noticed you were missing XYZ, or I can say certain social media profiles are missing. I went ahead and made you a video showing you what I mean. Who is the best person to send it to? And what I'll do here is I'll actually put in a fake audit, right, just like I just taught you, and the website screenshot will appear here with this play button over it. So in the final email, all the stuff is going to merge in, the first name, the screenshot, and it's going to be completely customized. I'll say thanks, Leor, and I'll go ahead, check it for spam, and then I'll go on my way of sending this. I can use it in the future and things like that. All right, let's just call it strange question, save it. Now, what I mentioned you're going to have to do is follow up with people, and that's done over at email sequences. So if I start a new sequence, what we can do is we can actually just take that template we made, and it's going to paste in there. And I'm just going to call the subject line same thing, strange question. The audit is going to merge in right there. And we're going to add another email to the sequence. So it's going to send 1 day after, or I can make it send 2 days after. And what the beauty of this is I can make it send based on a condition. So the condition here would be only send this email if the prospect doesn't open the previous email. Or maybe they open it but they don't click on the link. Okay, that's one of my favorite ones if I'm sending a link, but remember you don't really want to send a link all the time, so maybe prospect does not open the previous email, and I'll just be like, hey, or did you get it, question mark, and I'll be like, hey, did you get my previous email? Previous email, I'll put the person's first name in there, so it's super, super personal, and then we're ready to go. All right, so that is how quickly you can set up the sequences or the templates. Now that we have what we're going to send, where do we go out and start finding leads? Well, that's done over in campaigns. Okay, so with the campaigns, we have this new search. So we have all these folders for lawyer clients, plumber clients, dentist clients. All my searches are going to be nested in there. So I'll just do a new search here. And guys, it really depends on what you sell. You see we have a ton of options for whatever it is that we sell. So if you just want to do a regular search for all the leads, go ahead and do a regular search. You'll get all of them in your city or beyond. If you want to do a quick, find for people who are missing social media websites, go ahead and do social lacking. You'll find those. If you sell SEO, you'll find people have bad SEO or schema. If you sell AdWords, find people who are bidding in AdWords or who are bidding. If you sell Facebook retargeting or Facebook advertising, we can find people who aren't retargeting. We can find everyone in your city who doesn't have a website and that needs one if you build websites. Or maybe they have websites, but it's not mobile responsive. You can use that. Video lacking, if you sell video, review lacking, if you sell reputation management, it's all sort of the same. So I'll just do a regular search here, and I'll do shingle repair for which city did we just do as an example? Maybe Houston. Okay, I'll go next. I'll get some extra leads just for a good kick. Email me the results. Now we have two options over here. The first is standard, and the second is auto. So standard means I'm just going to get all the leads, a couple hundred leads, and I can go through them, email them one by one, email them all at once, but basically I'll review the leads. Auto is that mode that sort of lets you go to sleep while it does everything on its own. So once the search is done, it's automatically going to take a template, the one I just made, and it's going to send it to the entire list with the merge fields completely personalized. Or the sequence we just made, it's going to send that whole sequence to the entire list. All right? And if I don't want to email leads that are in previous searches, I'll just leave this unchecked. And I'll leave standard mode for now, but I'll hit finish. And while it's running, let me just quickly show you, and it's really, really fast. It shouldn't take more than a couple seconds. But I'm just going to show you another quick lawyer search I've done recently. So we'll open up the results for this. And you see in this search for social lacking personal injury lawyers, we found 88 leads. All right, you have the name, the address, the phone number, the email, and sometimes you get, really, really personal with the person's like Gmail address and things like that. And you can see the CRM is already tracking what they've done. So in this instance, I've sent the email, but this guy opened it. So it's going to say opened. If they clicked on a link in the email, it's going to say clicked. Okay, so maybe they already responded, so I'll go to the notes section. I'll say contact responded. Maybe I need to follow up. Great prospect. Definitely needs help. Excuse my spelling. Hit save. Made that even worse. But you get the point, okay? Hit save, and we're ready to go with that. Now, let's say you want to send them an audit. So you don't want to send a fake audit, you want to send a real audit. So just hit view audit or run audit over there, and boom, within seconds, a complete audit is created for you that you can go ahead and send and merge into the email for them. So your personal logo is going to go over here. This just one's my test account. It's going to say audit prepared for them. It's going to talk about the mistakes on their website. Your title's too long. You got to lower it. Here's how you can fix your website, speed tests, social media, some keyword action with AdWords and SEO information. Pretty standard, and it's going to end in a call to action saying, call me now. Because remember, we always want to have a call to action to be spoken to on the phone so we can close them. And you can put your own phone number, your own call to action there, and you'll be good to go. Now, I want to show you one more thing before I take questions, and there's a whole lot of them. And I want to show you that one is actually done. I want to show you the mobile view option for those of you that sell, mobile responsive websites or whatnot. So I'm going to open this here, and guys, I want you to be honest. How many of you use these dating websites like Tinder or Bumble or any of these websites on your phone to meet, girls or guys? All right, okay. Don't be shy. Okay, good. So this is exactly that, right? What we're doing here is we're swiping left or whether or not we can help this business based on what their website looks like on a mobile phone. So if I think I can help them, I'll check mark or I'll just swipe right. Boom, this guy has a really bad website. I can probably help them, swipe right. And what's happening in the background is these people are automatically being sent a template or a sequence with a screenshot of their website what it looks like on mobile, saying, hey, your website isn't responsive. It sucks. This is what it looks like. You need help. Okay, and they're seeing firsthand exactly what it is. Right, guys, I can be walking to the gym using this scope leads on my phone, swiping left and right, getting clients within seconds. All of it is being emailed automatically. Okay, you see the potential here? All right, this is just scratching the surface of what we can do to this. All right, I see a lot of questions coming through, but I just quickly want to go over some other stuff before I get to them. So everything we just did before manually, building a list, all that, sending emails, doing a fake audit, and I'm sorry for wasting your time doing it manually, but it's completely automated and it's completely tracked for you in Scope Leads. So how can you use the app right now? Well, Scope Leads regularly costs $11.88 per year for Pro access. There's also 3 crucial components available for just over $200. So there's high converting email templates we include for plug and play. You have my 6-figure sales guide and script to convert the leads. You have an elite community on Facebook for training webinars, case studies, and more. So your total of your first year is going to be $1,400 or $1,399 just to get started with Scope Leads. So you can see the investment is really not that bad over the course of a year. If you're serious about cold emailing and you see the potential, if you get one client, you pay it off. But right now, for this webinar only, you can get every feature and every component that I just mentioned at the lowest it will ever be. Okay, you ready for this? Just $249 per year. So we're scratching off $1,400. You're saving $1,150. That's over 83%, and you're getting instant access. Guys, for those of you that want in right now, while I answer some questions, go to scopeleads.com/Qzx900, and we're also going to put that in the chat box so you can go ahead and check that out. Okay, let me just go through a couple more things of what exactly you're getting with this. So the first component is a Pro version, and Scope Leads Pro unlocks the ability to run 2 additional campaign types. There's AdWords lacking, website lacking, whole bunch more, and it also unlocks the automation. That feature that I said lets you go to sleep while it emails everyone, the sequence and all that stuff. That's what the Pro version does. And last but not least, smart sequences will be unlocked, which allows the follow-up emails to be sent automatically based on whether or not they open the email and all that sort of stuff. That's the Pro version. Okay, it's regularly $99 per month, and we are including it for free in this. The second component is high converting email templates. So we didn't just want to give you an app, we wanted to give you exactly what you need to do to go out and get success. So you're getting word for word templates that simply work and are going to be preloaded into your account. You can use them as templates or sequences, get the same results I've been getting and that other users have been getting. There's a total of 12 templates for each campaign type. Go ahead and use them. Craig says everyone should be using this script. It works. The third component, consultation sales training. So this is training, by me on how to take the prospect from just being interested in talking to you to actually paying you, from prospect to client. Step by step, what to say in the phone call to sell your services without being salesy. So you're getting a complete 6-figure script. You can download, you can use it, all that stuff. Guys, when I sell this privately, this goes in my coaching for $4,000. I'm including this absolutely for free. Drew says, I haven't even really had time to implement the new lead sources yet. It's really just a sales technique that has drastically improved my close rate because it works. And the fourth and final component is a private Facebook network and ongoing training. Okay, we have bi-monthly webinars to keep you engaged and learning the newest cold email methods. You can chat with like-minded users and learn what's working for them, what templates they're using, what they're testing. You can request new features, get blazing fast support, and get access to bonus features and giveaways. Really, this community is really, really active. We got 1,000 people in there, and people are just helping each other. It's awesome. Yes, it works, and yes, it gets results. I'll just go with these because there's a whole bunch of them on the sales page, but I just want to quickly go over some of my favorites. Michael says, I want to thank Lear and the team for creating such an awesome software. I was able to land 2 clients in the roofing niche and 1 client who covers a range of different services. Now I have my hands full trying to fulfill the services. If you're looking to save money and a way to get more consistent flow of leads, this is for you. Herb is another power user. He says Scope Leads is the whole package. Just to put everything you need to generate leads from potential clients. We have stopped wasting time cold calling to get the leads we need. We signed up 3 new clients using Scope Leads that we never would have landed using the methods that were typical for us before we got Lear's tool. And Craig says, before using Scope Leads, I was manually cold emailing my niche and it took forever. Now with Scope Leads, I can reach out to hundreds of businesses each day very quickly. This allows me to use it in the morning for an hour or 2 and stop when I've gotten enough responses to keep me busy for the rest of the day. Okay? You don't have to spend more than 10, 20 minutes the night before, the night of, the day of. Set it on automatic and just wake up to responses. So who is Scope Leads for? Well, anyone starting in digital marketing and that needs a clear plan of action with a tool that can get it done too, Scope Leads is going to help you get those clients. Anyone with experience selling or doing digital marketing or selling pay-per-call leads that can use more clients, Scope Leads is for you. Just use the AdWords feature and you're good to go. Anyone with a sales team that is hungry for leads and wants to save time, Scope Leads is for you. Now, here's one power user who actually picked up Scope Leads on a webinar we did a couple of years ago, and he said, or last year rather, he said, so the last 24 hours has been crazy. Not only have I made a positive ROI from getting Scope Leads, but I got my foot in the door with some of the biggest companies in my area. I use a unique method while cold emailing prospects, and he actually shared this whole case study in the group. Guys, if you want to in on this, I'm not going to promise you 24-hour results, but you will be able to get leads within 5 minutes or less of getting the software. You can go to scopeleads.com/callzoo. And I'm going to throw in a special webinar bonus for those who pick it up today. So only for people buying right now on this webinar. Some people are asking, when does this offer close? So I'm just going to go to the sales page. You see this timer here? 41 minutes. Yeah, that's real. So within 41 minutes, when this timer hits 0, the special deal is going to end. You will not be able to get it at this price, 83% off anymore. Okay? So go ahead to take a look at this while I go over a quick bonus I want to throw in for you. So only for people buying right now on this webinar. I'm going to share the exact walkthrough that Michael, who got those 3 roofing clients, and Iman, who got 24-hour results, they created a walkthrough for you guys that landed them their clients using Scope Leads. They recorded their campaigns, their scripts, what they typed, what they clicked, everything. And the reason I'm including this is because I can sit here all day and provide training and stuff like that, but training from a real user is worth more than anything I can really provide for myself. All right, someone who's really came from nothing, started using the software, started to see the potential, used the templates, tweaked it a bit. We're going to throw that in for you in your members area if you pick this up. Okay, there's a couple more testimonials. They're on the sales page, so we'll just jump to some questions while that happens. But before we get there, you have 2 options at this point. Okay, the first is you can keep prospecting manually, spending hours and days preparing and tracking everything, building the list, sending the emails one by one, making sure they're personal, making the video audits. It does take a couple hours per day to send those 22 emails that will get results. Or you start using Scope Leads and automate your sales process at the cheapest it will ever be. Remember, you only have to send 22 emails, and then you saw the search I just ran. got 197 leads. All right, really, really quickly. We already went over the math. You know it works. scopeleads.com/Qzx900. All right. Here's another testimonial I got really, really recently. Eric says, I wanted to share a Scopely success story with you. I've always been a fan of the stuff you put out. I finally launched a campaign. I sent out 197 emails yesterday, and it took 20 minutes. 59 emails were opened, and I got 16 visitors to my site. 5 people emailed me back wanting to know more, and 8 calls came in. 3 of those were interested in my calling them back. I'm sure I'll get 2 or 3 more. Right, so this is someone who just had scope leads, took 20 minutes. You know, it shouldn't have even have taken that long. It should have taken like 30 seconds to a minute to send all these, and he's already getting responses. Guys, this is extremely typical email that I get, very typical results that you'll see in the group as well. So let's just recap exactly what you're going to get, because there's a whole bunch of questions and I know you're eager before the timer. So you're getting instant access to Scope Leads Pro with automation, with email sequences, with more search types. You're getting the templates, the sales scripts, the Facebook community, all included. You don't have to pay extra for them. All right. I'll just show you we're designing a new website now. You can see the Pro version is $99 per month. That's the standard, and that's how much you'd be paying regularly, or you can get it for $249 right now for the whole year. You're getting the Scope Leads Power Users Training. So the exact campaigns that got them their responses and their clients. You don't need a whole course. You don't need all that stuff. You just need to start using it, use our templates, and you will start getting results. All right, if you want in on this, we'll put the link in the chat box if it's not there already. That's scopeleads.com/Qzx900. Let's put that there. Okay. Now let's get to some questions. Chris, if you're there, you can also unmute yourself if you want to say hi. But
alrighty, so that was awesome. Now look, you can do a couple of things. You can be one of those people who spend their Sunday afternoon changing the oil in their car just to save a few bucks, or you can take it down, spend a couple extra bucks, and have the whole Sunday afternoon to yourself on here. Look, he showed you the manual way to do it. Why on earth would you do it the manual way when you've got an 80% plus discount? You've seen the power of it. It's not just about time, it's about leverage and what you're worth here on that end of it. This is why I had him come on and share this. This is absolutely value added 110% on here. The big question I see coming in on this end of it is, how can I use this for other types of offline services? Like I sell leads, or I want to rent out a site with leads. So help us out with that.
Sure. So yeah, the idea of the software is we built search types that you're going to need if you sell the more generic stuff like SEO or whatever it is. So we've thought of pretty much all of them. But if you're renting websites out, it's most likely because someone needs leads, right? So probably the best search type for that would be AdWords lacking, because they're running AdWords really poorly, or they used to run AdWords but aren't. You can use SEO lacking. Those people generally need leads. Or you can just do a regular search. So if you've been cold emailing anyways, if you've thought of it as an idea to get to prospect, instead of picking up a phone, instead of sending a cold email, use a regular search in Scope Leads and you'll be good to go. So if you have any questions like that, you can also, once you're in the app, if you need help setting it up or anything like that, which really the tutorials are really, really quick. Nothing is more complicated than what I've already shown you. You can also just hit this support thing here, start a new conversation and be like, put a GIF in here with Homer. I need help. And between 9 and 6 p.m. Eastern, someone will type in. And we already got one of our guys typing. We're really, really fast support. So they'll help you with that stuff as soon as they're ready to go. And Igor is just joking with
Gene
us.
wrote in here, said, I've done it the manual way and it's painful. So I would definitely agree that it's painful to do it the manual way. There's absolutely no reason in this day and age with the technology that's being presented to you that you would want to do it any other way. Look, there's a couple of things, there's a couple of key components that you have to every business. One of them is that you need customers. And quite frankly, if you don't have customers in your offline business, no matter what type of business it is, you just have an expensive hobby. That's really all that you have. And until you have the customer component of it and the ability to get customers at leads at will, you really don't have a business. So this software is going to enable you and automate the process of getting customers. I just want to emphasize a little bit because a lot of you on this call, not all of you, but quite a few of you, based on the questions here, are looking for ways to sell your existing leads or the leads that you'll have in the future on here. And using the software, I couldn't think of an easier way to do it. Whatever niche that you're in and you're specializing in, particularly those either in the pay-per-call, the paid, or the SEO using the master domain site, you could simply put an email together offering if they'd like a free trial to your leads on that. And that's absolutely free, no catch. I just want to make sure that you're not a tire kicker. These do cost me money to produce these leads for you. It's just a way to introduce and develop a trusted business relationship together. These are the leads that I have in your area, customers waiting for your particular service. I don't know too many business owners who need leads that would turn that down on that. It's a really, really easy way to do that. And the fact that you can put images in the emails too on here, you could also leverage that and you could show a screenshot of the calls coming in, the times that they come in and the area codes and stuff like that. So absolutely great opportunity on here. Again, if you're sitting in a situation where maybe you don't have leads or you feel like the service that you want to provide, maybe it's a course you bought recently, and you don't feel like you're a pro or an expert, that's the best way to turn that around and really get the fire and urgency under your belt to get you out there doing and taking action, is to go get some clients. Is to go out and get clients first, and then second, provide the service to them. That's a great technique to really get you out there rather than just spending hours going over a course, rewatching videos, just kind of watching, not actually out there doing and participating in the game of business here. And then once you start doing that, it changes your perspective. You have a whole new level of freedom. You can be out standing on elephants and bathing them and whatever Laura was doing with that elephant. I don't know. I don't even want to know. Not just. So let's get to the questions here. By the way, can you throw that timer up? There must be I babbled too long. We must have 19 minutes, and this is like a hard deadline, guys. This is you're not going to get this at another time for this kind of discount. So it's not a false scarcity here.
Yeah. Okay, we got some popular ones. Does this work in any country? So the quick answer is yes. If that's holding you back, this absolutely works anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter if you're in America, Australia, India. We can find leads locally anywhere. If you don't want to work locally, you can work internationally with blogs and things like that. That's fine. That should answer the question.
Nice.
Someone says, yeah, someone's talking about selling leads. So the really funny thing is that I've never really thought of it this way until I met Chris, but you can actually use scope leads to generate leads for your own pay-per-call clients. So sending out a whole bunch of emails saying, on behalf of your client, saying, do you need XYZ service? Once they respond, that's an incoming hot lead that needs your client's help. And you can go and sell that to them. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Lana? Someone's saying, how do
Good
the emails
question.
sent out? Yep.
Yeah.
Just to answer this one, it's really popular. So the first 7 days, you can go ahead and use our email servers. We'll just let you use it to get settled in. Right after that, you can connect your own Gmail account with one click. You could also connect your own SMTP servers, and we suggest a whole ton of them that are completely free, up to like 10,000 emails per month. We'll even set it up for you if you need help, just email support. But yeah, you can send it in a whole bunch of ways.
Question here,
Jason,
if I wanted to get all of the information of every, let's say, a plumber in a certain city on the first 10 pages, will it get it for me, or do I have to, how would you get that information, basically? If you were in a niche and you wanted to get the first 10 pages in a particular city of that niche or plumber or whatever it is, how would you get that information in order to contact them?
true. It's a good question. It can be done two ways. You'll search for plumber, the city, and you'll manually copy and paste page 2 onto 10 into Google, or you go to scope leads, campaigns, and you search SEO lacking. And that's going to get you those 10 pages that you just asked for, people that are lacking in that, and it'll be done within 10 to 20 seconds. So the choice is yours. That's literally what SEO lacking search type does. And it's one of the most popular used ones because it's people that really need help with SEO.
Can you import CSVs of existing leads? Can you import emails, basically?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's not an autoresponder. It's something you have to understand. We generate the leads that need help. It is super highly requested, so we are making a feature to upload websites of people, and then we're going to go out and find their information and if they need your marketing help. So it's definitely coming soon, only for pro users. So if you want pro for cheap, this is probably how you'll get that feature.
Okay, great. Someone else in here comes in. And just know it's a complete working system with many successful people implementing it, many. So it's not like it's broken or it needs more. It could just stay exactly the way it is. That's perfectly fine. But that would be an added bonus in the future. You don't need it today to be successful with it. Ron writes in here, I'm confused about how much this really costs. So what are some of the other costs involved?
Yeah, it's definitely a common question. So thanks for that. I mean, it really costs your time, which is not much. If you're asking if there are any upsells, there's no upsells. This is all you're paying for. You're getting everything. If you're asking about other tools you need, you could do it manually, like I showed you. Spend $200-300 a month, or Scope Leads will have it for you. You don't need to pay for any other softwares. You don't need to pay for an email server. You don't need to pay for anything. If you have an email address, you have a domain, you go to your profile, you input it, your name, email, and you're ready to go. Like, it's really that simple.
Yeah, there really is no other catch. It's really is an outstanding deal. It's probably going to end here in about 20 minutes. All righty, Brad writes in here, how do you ensure email deliverability? Won't Gmail send it to a spam filter after that many emails? It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. So there's a couple things you can do. First is you sort of work through the leads, making sure that they need your help and you're sending a personalized email. Remember, all of these emails are personalized. It's not like the ones that you get in bulk in your spam from India selling you SEO and things like that. You're sending templates that actually help people, and they're personalized. So they have their first name and all these details about them. It doesn't seem like spam. And when Google sees that, they don't see that it's a templated message. They see that there's all this personal information inside. So that's the first answer to that. Second answer is simply that each person's Gmail or each person's SMTP server is completely separate. So you sending emails isn't going to affect the next user sending emails or deliverability. So it's really, the reputation is in your own hands. I wouldn't use Gmail personally to send like hundreds of emails a day. I would just set up a quick SMTP server using Mailgun or one of these services that are free. Doesn't take more than 5 minutes, and you can send like 10,000 a day without a problem.
Yeah, that's really the smart way to go on that. Pretty straightforward with that, and I know inside the training you've got some training on how you would do that. And that's kind of once you become a little bit more of a power user. When you're just starting out, Gmail is all that you need on here. Alrighty, so if you're in, please type in the chat box, I'm in. A lot of people are coming here saying what a great deal this is. I just jumped in, says George on here. This is a fantastic deal on here, which it absolutely is. Okay, so will this work for B2C, so business to consumer, to generate my own leads for a health and fitness vertical?
Yeah, saw that, North. So that's a good question. I mean, in the end of the day, a lead is a website. So if your customers have websites in your vertical, then you can find them because they're on the internet. That means we can find them. So we don't use a database of leads. Every single search that's run is completely fresh. So if you run one now versus 10 minutes from now, it can be completely different. You're not sharing leads, anything like that. But most likely, people that have businesses on the internet or websites are businesses. So if you're looking for like individual people in the world, this is not a phone book in that sense. It probably will have to be some sort of business.
Alrighty, Dave on here writes, there's 100% satisfaction guarantee. Please guarantee if there's a 30-day, no questions guarantee. Before you answer that, let me just put a statement on that just really quickly. And that is that if you're one of these people, and I know everyone's kind of suspect these days, but we can trust our guest here, okay? If you implement exactly what's working on here and you work at it every single day, this is going to work for you. This is a proven system. This is not something that's like, well, I need 30 days to see if it will work for me individually. No, it'll work for everybody the way that it's designed to do if you put the work in to do it. And you don't have to put a whole lot of work. How much work per day would you realistically need to put into this in order to see results?
Was that a question for me? Or is that rhetorical?
Yeah, that's a question for you. No, it's not rhetorical. It's a question for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that comes down to a mindset thing, right? We're not really selling a course here. We're not selling some sort of money-making system. We're selling a tool. So if you already know how to cold email or you want to learn how to cold email, this is going to be the absolute fastest way to do it. So I'll just show you a really quick example. So go to campaigns. Let's say I want to run a couple hundred emails today. Campaigns, new search. I'll do exactly what I did before. So like shingle repair. The city will be Chicago. Next, auto mode. Choose a template I just did. I'll click finish. Now I don't want to email them because I didn't really pay attention to what I just did. But how long did that take me, Chris? Maybe like 10, 15 seconds. And
yeah,
I'm done for the day. Hundreds of people have been emailed. And yeah, so if you're going to buy and sort of try it, please don't. You don't really, it hurts our PayPal reputation, all that stuff. But if you're not happy and it's not getting you hundreds of leads a day, then, or hundreds of emails rather, then we're not going to keep your money. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, so lots of people typed in here. Hey, Stephen, how you doing? Stephen's in, Tuck's in, Adam's in, Miller's in, Morris is in, Fred is in, CJ's in on here on this end of it. Purchasing now, says Richard. Good. I'm in, very excited to get going, says Rhonda on here on this end of it. So lots and lots of people jumping on here. What do we have on the timer here? What's left? About 15 minutes?
20 minutes.
What do we got there? 20 minutes. 20 minutes. We have a ton of people on the call. So if you're sitting on the fence and you need a question answered before you can make a decision, Now is the time to do it. Jen says she's in on this end of it. Steven says, can you throw the purchase link into the chat box, please? Yes, we'll do that right away. Buy now. Okay, fantastic. Are there any upsells? No, there's no upsells. There's no catches here. It is what it is. It's very straightforward on here. Can you get leads for e-commerce sites to owners? I'm going to say that's probably not what this was designed for, so I don't want to stretch it outside the boundaries of what it's used for, but we'll ask the expert here, our guest, can this be used for leads on e-com? For site owners?
It's a good question. I mean, the same way you saw me just search for, what was it, shingle repair, just search for, buy shoes online, or whatever the e-commerce niche is that you want to search for. It's going to be the same search. You're going to get a bunch of local businesses too, but in that you're going to get a bunch of e-commerce businesses. And of course, these are things that are requested in the Facebook group, so we add features all the time, like new searches for e-commerce, and you can search the code, see if they're using Shopify, and things like that. So it could be used.
Good. Okay. Ron on here saying, can you please confirm the price on PayPal? It's saying this. Complete your sentence there, Ron, and we'll definitely confirm with that. And we'll get you taken care of. So don't worry about that. Yeah,
it's just a PayPal thing. It might say like 10 years. You're not locked in for 10 years. It's just, you can cancel tomorrow or tonight if you want. It's just saying the maximum amount of time that you can be subscribed is 10 years, and then if you're subscribed from 10 years, I'll give you a free account after 10 years, and I'll send you like a wine or something.
Well, one of the problems, I don't know if this is true or not, but some people have asked us, does the yearly price stay the same? I would assume if you keep subscribing for the next 10 years, would it still be the same price? Are you going to honor that, or would it go up with features?
Yeah, we're actually going to honor that. So if you stay subscribed, you don't cancel, you're pretty much keeping this. Guys, for a SaaS company, for a software company, this is pretty much unheard of. I know Chris owns a software company. We're redesigning the site. It's going to be $99 per month. We already went over the prices. You're saving 83%. It's that simple.
Yeah. So yeah, Ron, that's not 247. Yeah, it's 247 every year for 10 brands. You got it. Okay, we've clarified that. It's a good question. Probably others had that end of it. Okay, good. A question: once you find the errors, how do you get them fixed on here? I just want to comment on that, even though this is not my company. I can tell you from knowing our guest here that he runs a very tight ship. He has full-time staff and programmers on here. So this is not one of these systems where you get and there's, it's here today, gone tomorrow, and, the wheels fall apart after a couple of months. He's in this for the long haul, and he has been, and he's proven that. So I hope that answered that question. Okay, good. Cool, I'm in. All right. Congratulations, David. Sorry, I cut you off.
I was going to show that people ask about that sometimes, and this is my main business, and I focus on this full time. And here, if you go to the bottom left of the app, you'll see all the latest fixes we do. We publish them publicly so that you know that we're working on this full time every day. New features, fixes, improvements.
Yeah, look, whether you decide to get into this or not, this is just a word of advice. Anytime you're going to buy a WordPress plugin, a WordPress theme, a piece of software, whatever it is, if it doesn't have an annual or a monthly subscription, run. Just absolutely run, because I'm telling you, I've had the Qzx system, and we've been building it, continue to build it for the past 5 years. It's never ending, and that costs money. And there's no way we could upkeep that unless we did not have a subscription. So when you see something like this and it does not have a subscription, just run. It's going to fall apart. The wheels will come falling off, and it won't have good support or any of that kind of stuff. So that's just a word of caution. I just spot I'm in. All right, Ron. Good job. I'm in too, says Peter, and super happy to be here. Well, we're happy you're here too. Awesome. Just got in. Thank you. Good. All righty. Awesome. Let's see here. We're down to the last 15 minutes, guys and gals, and we still have tons of people on the call. I can't believe this. Okay, I'm on the fence. Here we go. Norv says, I'm on the fence. Will this work for B2C to generate my own leads for the health and fitness? I want to just be totally transparent with this. I don't have the answer for that, but I know someone who does.
I think we actually just answered that one, North. B2C, it's not meant for that, right? The clients that you want are people with money. People who have money are business owners. And business owners are the type of people that you can help, whether or not you're selling leads, digital marketing. You know, I understand your niche is health and fitness, but this isn't built for B2C. It's built to cold email businesses, owners.
Yeah, Stephen brings up a good point. Thank you very much. He says it breaks down to what he already did the math: $20.75 per month. You know, geez, that's a steal. That's how much is your time really worth? I mean, come on. Okay, so another one. Thanks for pointing that out, by the way, Stephen. We missed Jim Bangkok, by the way. Let's keep going here. I'm in, says friend. Alrighty, friend, I see you all the time on these calls, and I really appreciate you taking the time to join. Cool, let's make some moolah, says David. All right, cool. Here, this was a good question on here, and this comes up quite a bit. I just saw that. I'm not quite sure what the answer was. Maybe you answered it, or someone of your staff did it. But let's say that I've got a Facebook ad agency for local businesses. How can I use your system to get more clients?
Awesome. So yeah, a lot of my buddies sell Facebook, and I pretty much built this feature just for them. So you just simply would search for people who are not doing Facebook advertising, and that's exactly what we search for. Or rather, they might be doing Facebook advertising, and they might be doing it poorly. So what you can do is retargeting lacking for Facebook. Find businesses that do not have the Facebook pixel set up on their website. All right. The number one thing for Facebook advertisers is if they're doing it poorly, they don't have a pixel on their website because they're not retargeting, things like that. They're not tracking conversions. Those people need your agency's help. So run a search, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, that's an easy one with the pixels. My goodness, if you're not using pixels, forget it. If any of you in the business already know that, or if you're new to it, you should. Yeah, that's an easy one. So, all righty. Okay. All right. So Clay asks on here. He says, "Can active campaigns autoresponder be hooked up to Scope Leads?" Can you use basically any autoresponder you want?
You can use any SMTP server, but in terms of a CRM like ActiveCampaign is not really meant for sending cold emails, right? Something like Mailgun or SendGrid, those are types that you can do it. So we don't have a direct integration, but you could just download the CSV of all the leads with this button. And just upload it to ActiveCampaign or to wherever you want, Facebook advertising, and do it that way. But we're definitely working on integrations with all these guys, all the CRMs.
Alrighty. Yeah, I just use this the way the system's been built to use on here. Alrighty, so John says in here, he just wrote this in a minute ago. It says, "Can you go over the automated email creation part again, please?"
All right, sure.
What do you think?
So, John, the idea is that we set up templates or drip sequences that will follow up with our prospects, and it can be done over in templates or sequences. And once that's done, you'll have them sitting over here. They are ready to be sent, and they're completely personalized. So you see in this example, I have the person's name in there. I have their social profiles. I have a fake audit. This is going to be completely customized to each person that receives it. and you can send a test email to yourself or check the spam score, all that sort of stuff to make sure it works. But once you have that set up, you just go to any campaign and just click email on anyone, or you can email all, and you'll see the option to select that template that we just chose. If you wanted to automate the whole process, then at the end of the search, you'll just simply put in some gibberish, and you just go auto mode. So once the search is done, it's going to go through the entire list and send them the template or the sequence that you just made automatically. So if you don't want to review the leads, you're not interested in that, you're more of a numbers guy, remember the cold email math that we did. 22 emails per day, and with Sc0Pe just sending sometimes 50, 100, a couple hundred. Some people have salesmen that do a lot more.
Alrighty, Darlene asks on here, she can't, for some reason, can't open up the page for scopeleads.com/Qzx, and she wants to purchase on here. So let's just make sure that she's got the right link in the chat box here. If you could just copy and paste that in there for her, that'd be great. Here, let me throw that in there. HTTP.
Yeah, guys, if you have any trouble purchasing or anything like that, you can hit up our support, and we'll definitely help you get in. Try to do it really quickly. We're standing by. That's support@scopeleads.com.
Alrighty, so Rhonda asks on here, is there a report generation feature built into the software?
Yeah, so there's the leads report and the opens report, all the tracking I showed you on the dashboard. For more really robust reporting, like how many people did this on this day, you could do that. But for like really, really detailed reporting, that's an upcoming feature, hopefully the next few months.
Alrighty, so I just purchased, I'm in. Congratulations, George. Welcome aboard on here. Let's see here. Okay, does this include the landing page or do we build that? Asked Douglas.
If you're talking about the audit, so this gets generated by the system automatically. We're talking about the landing page for videos. We don't build that because you could sit there doing a video audit like I showed you. It'll take 10, 20 minutes to set up, record, send to the person. Or you can send a fake video audit, and people, you can send hundreds of those. You know, people respond. Once they respond, go out and do the audit. So we don't make landing pages. You know, that's not what we do. But that's the method I use.
Awesome. And then, Stephen, I'd suggest you contact support to get the details of that. For Scott on here, Scott says, I'm in. Do we use an AWS, SES, or SendGrid as an option? That's a good question.
Yeah, you can use either of those. And just head to the profile, grab that SMTP details, pop them in here, click save, and you're ready to go.
If it's worth anything, my personal preference is SendGrid, but I'm really happy with them. So, okay, cool. Okay, Stephen, thanks. These guys will get you taken care of, I promise. On here, can we use the Google servers when we're using our own domain?
If you're using like a shared host, like GoDaddy or something, probably don't recommend that. I'm not even sure if they allow emails to be sent through like that. But once again, why pay for GoDaddy when we have free options for you? You know, SendGrid, Mailgun, SES, those all have like 10,000 free emails per month. So you don't really need to send that many. Just sign up for a free account.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be the smart way to do it. On here, is an email, if an email bounces, will we be notified? Is there something on that lets us know what the bounce rate is?
If it bounces, you will get an error message. You can also see it in your logs of the SMTP you choose. Hope that answers.
Yeah, you're going to get that in your you're going to get that in the service that you decide to use on that. So that's going to be part of that report on that end of it. Look, if you were part of the Qzx family, we appreciate you all. Some of you are in the SEO, and some of you are in the Qzx ads. Some are in both, which is the best way to go because you're going to have both types of traffic coming in, two sources of income. How would you use this particular service on here? Well, this is how you would use it. Look, this is a way to generate leads and customers. This is a customer acquisition tool, and it can be used to offer anything that you have of value. And understand that you have something of extreme value that no other service provider does. Not SEO service, not even Facebook services, which is really good, by the way. That's another topic I'm going to get into later in the near future here. But you have what every single business owner who needs and wants more business wants. They just want to cut right to the chase. They don't want to wait for SEO. They don't want to wait for ads to work. They just want live leads coming to them. That's like the easiest thing. And if you can offer a quick free trial only for people who are committed, and the way that we do it now is that if they're committed on that, then through PayPal, we ask that they go for $1 up front, and then we give them a 7-day free trial. After that, then they get billed automatically. And we know after we've explained to it that we've answered all their questions about qualified leads, unqualified leads. Once we have all of that onboarding and everyone's clear, and we're offering them a 7-day free trial as long as they subscribe to us by starting with $1 and then signing up with PayPal, which is super easy to do, then we know we have serious people. And that's how you can get people in the door, regardless of what kind of Qzx lead service that you offer on that. And then if you've got a history and you've got some other clients that even it all takes just one that's happy with your service, you could have them write a really quick testimonial or even a video testimonial, and also throw that either on your landing page or sales page or even within the email too to get them to click through. So if anyone here from the Qzx community gets this, and you I actually like sales copy and stuff like that, if you want to give me your best sales copy and send it into support, I don't mean like just here, write this for me, Chris, but you've actually put some effort into it, I'd be happy to look over it and give you my 2 cents on that end of it. So, and then at the end of the day, well, I'll give you more information on that. If you put in the work, get the system on the end of it, write your best email copy that and use the existing tools that are in here. Your biggest obstacle here is going to be somebody to open the email. You've already got 5 proven emails in here. Headlines is going to get someone to open it. It has a proven track record. You're going to want to track that kind of stuff. Anyways, so do we have any time left? Is this deal over with?
I got a minute and 18 seconds.
A minute, 18 seconds. Holy smoke. Okay, so if anyone's on the fence, is like now or never. Okay. If it searches Google for websites, how many pages can it scrape? Can it go over 10 pages or more?
Yeah, guys, not really a scraper. Everything here is pretty much above board. We use proper APIs and pay for all that stuff. So you're not like choosing how many pages you want to scrape and hitting scrape. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it's quite a bit more sophisticated than a scraper on here. Alrighty, so wow, that's pretty good. Well, I think we can get down to the last 30 seconds here. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done with that. So I want to thank our guests for coming on here. Just fulfilling exactly what he said he was going to do from the beginning, which is he had a tremendous value on the front end, you could, if you're the manual type, if you could not afford this, then you could go out and do this manually. There's no doubt about it. Or you could leverage tools on here. On the end of it, I mean, I guess I could use my fist to hammer a nail, but it would be really painful. I would rather just buy a nice hammer. What you're given here is a hammer at a discount to make the job done easier on the end of it. And no matter where you are in your business, one component that you have to have is you have to have a consistent method of getting clients. Without clients, you just quite frankly don't have a business. You can have all the grandiose great ideas and all the courses and test them out all day long that you want, and you're going to get started tomorrow or whatever, but there's no faster way to get some fire under your belt than if you just go out and you implement this system. And you saw right here the demonstration. Literally after you've learned it, it'll take you 10-15 seconds, and within 24 hours you're going to see some results. That's pretty darn exciting. So I'll let you do the final closing here, and then we'll wrap this up. We'll end it.
Yeah, I mean, there's pretty much not left to close. I really want to thank everyone who already got in. Looks like some people just managed to get the sales page. If you had some billing issues or whatever and you're just sort of begging, hit up support@Sc0Pes.com and we'll hopefully honor that. Other than that, Chris, thanks so much. It's been an honor doing this with you. And I hope, guys, if you still want to do this manually, go and do it manually. At least you learned something. I hope you got some value out of it. And hit me up on Facebook if you need any help. All right, Chris, you there?